Sometimes the most profound journeys we take aren't across oceans, but right through the pages of a book. Today, we're diving deep into 5 of Shakespeare's sonnets that map out an incredible crisis. And this isn't just about a simple lover's quarrel. No, it's a raw, unfiltered look at a soul moving from bitter accusation through total despair, all the way to a stunning spiritual breakthrough.
All right, let's jump right in. We're not starting at the beginning of this story. We are dropping straight into the middle of a toxic argument that's clearly been going on for a while. The speaker kicks things off by admitting his sin. Love is my sin. But then he immediately twists it, accusing his lover of hating him for that very sin, a sin that, by the way, she encouraged.
And that right there is the problem at the heart of this whole sequence. The poet is totally caught. He's been accused, and he knows he's guilty. But he also knows his accuser is just as guilty. So what's his first move? Is it an apology? A defense? Nope. It's a full frontal counterattack. So he opens his case not by pleading his own innocence, but by putting his accuser on trial for the exact same crimes. It's a really bold, aggressive opening that sets the stage for a bitter legal battle. He's using a classic rhetorical strategy here. It's called tu quoque, which is just Latin for you also. It's essentially a way of deflecting blame by saying, how dare you judge me when you do the exact same thing? Now, it's a logical fallacy, of course. 2 wrongs don't make a right. But as a courtroom tactic, it's designed to completely disqualify the judge.
What's so fascinating here is how he completely drains every drop of romance out of the affair. He describes their love not with passion, but with the cold, hard language of law and business. Her lips aren't for kissing, they're for sealing false bonds, like a crooked business deal. She hasn't been unfaithful, she's robbed revenues, like an embezzler.
And he ends the sonnet with this really sharp legal threat. It's a warning, basically saying, be careful about demanding pity or forgiveness from other people, because if you refuse to give it to me, you're setting a precedent that can and definitely will be used against you. But you know what? The whole legal argument, it doesn't work. It doesn't bring him any peace at all. So, having completely failed to win in the court of logic, the speaker's emotional state just unravels. We move from accusation into this downward spiral of pure desperation and paranoia.
And the imagery gets, well, honestly, it gets kind of pathetic. In this startlingly undignified metaphor, he pictures himself as a crying baby, abandoned by his mother, who is the lover, because she's too busy chasing a runaway chicken, which is a symbol for another man. He has gone from a sharp-witted lawyer to a helpless, wailing infant.
From this absolute low point, his personal crisis just explodes into a full-blown spiritual one. He starts to reimagine his love life as this epic, cosmic battle for his very soul, caught between 2 opposing forces: a better angel, a fair young man who brings him comfort, and a worser spirit, the dark lady who brings him despair. Now, he's tapping into a theatrical tradition that his audience would have recognized immediately. I mean, this is straight out of the old morality plays, where you'd literally have a good angel and a bad angel show up on stage to fight over a character's soul. He's taking his messy love triangle and blowing it up into a struggle between heaven and hell.
And here is the crucial point. The real torture isn't just the betrayal. It's the agonizing suspicion that his worser spirit is corrupting his better angel. He thinks his good angel is now in his bad angel's hell, a word with both a spiritual and, let's be honest, a very explicit sexual meaning. But the worst part? It's the uncertainty. He can't know for sure, so he's just condemned to live in doubt.
But just as that psychological torture reaches its absolute peak, the entire sequence takes a sudden, shocking, and, frankly, beautiful turn.
After all of that dense, tortured, complex language, we get this. It's one of the simplest, sweetest, most tender lyrics in the entire collection. It feels like a window has just been thrown open in a dark, stuffy room, letting in a memory of a much, much gentler time.
And right here, we find a little secret hidden inside the poem. The speaker is describing how his lover started to say, "I hate," but then she changed her mind, saving his life by saying, "not you." But listen to how he phrases it. From hate away she threw. Hate away, Hathaway. It's this brilliant little pun on the name of Shakespeare's own wife, Anne Hathaway.
This shift isn't just in the tone, it's literally baked into the poem's structure. See, every single other sonnet in the collection has 10 syllables per line. This one, it only has 8. This gives it a lighter, faster, more song-like rhythm that makes it feel completely different from the tormented poems that surround it.
It seems like this brief memory of grace gives the speaker the strength he needs to change direction completely.
He abandons the argument with his lover, he abandons all the paranoia, and he turns the fight inward, staging a final, ultimate debate with his own soul.
He asks his soul this devastatingly simple question. Why are you starving yourself just to decorate a body that's going to die? Why, he asks, do you spend so much time and energy painting the outward walls of this body, while you, the soul, pine within and suffer dearth? I mean, you're literally starving to death.
He uses this powerful, ancient metaphor of the body as a fading mansion. Think of it this way. It's not a home you own forever. It's a house you're just leasing, and for a very short time. So to spend all your resources fixing it up is just foolish, because in the end, the worms are the ones who inherit it.
So he comes up with this radical new strategy, and he frames it again in the language of business. But this time, it's a spiritual investment. He tells his soul to let the body, its servant, just decline, sell off all those worthless, wasted hours spent on vanity, and use the profit to buy terms divine, an eternal future.
And this all leads to the triumphant paradox that concludes his entire journey. By embracing mortality, by letting the body's decay actually feed the soul's strength, the soul can turn the tables on its ultimate enemy. You will feed on death that feeds on men. And once you've consumed death itself, what's left to be afraid of?
In the end, this whole sequence shows us something incredibly profound. The speaker never really resolves his love triangle. He never gets an apology. He never wins the argument. Instead, he finds a new perspective, a spiritual high ground from which his worldly problems, as painful as they were, just don't have the power to destroy him anymore. He didn't solve the problem, he outgrew it.